Talk about the strongest man in the Bible, Samson. Basically, God gave him like super strength, and the only weakness Samson had was, well, God told him not to cut his hair. But anyway, Samson has some really crazy feats. Like he once ripped a lion apart with his bare hands. He was literally ripping the lion from his face and everything. Like, if y'all familiar with what Hercules did to this particular lion in Greek mythology, that's where Hercules got that from. Like, Samson was the original embodiment of super strength. Literally the strongest man to ever live, and he basically had like a war with the Philistines, the Philistines. If I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyway, he was really, he wasn't like just some big brute that only used his power. He was actually really intelligent. He once like tied some torches around like some foxes, like 300 foxes tails, and he had them burn like the fields and stuff like that against the Philistines. And he once defeated 1,000 Philistine soldiers with just a single weapon. With it's basically he used a donkey's jaw, a donkey's jawline, and what he did was he was beating all of them to death with the. Imagine having a donkey's jaw and using it as like a hammer. That's basically what he did. He just beat the living dog water out of all of them. When it came to fighting Samson in hand-to-hand combat, he was dang near almost impossible to defeat. It took Samson basically lusting over a Philistine woman named Delilah, and she cut his when he told her his secret about where his strength comes from. She cut his hair, and what happened was, after she cut his hair, she basically turned him in. And when she turned him in, and the Philistines were happy about how he had like no super strength at all anymore. They basically blinded him too. So they blinded him, and he was just a mere mortal at that point. And like, I find Samson's strength to be interesting, like really awesome, and it inspired me too, because at the end of Samson's story, when he knocked down the temple of where the Philistines of Gaza was, if I'm saying that, the city Gaza, when he asked God to please forgive him and to give him one last chance to do the right thing, and it was basically like a sacrifice. God gave him back his super strength, and Samson basically died by knocking down like when he was tied up to the pillars, those. Like if you go to the Olympics and you see those things like this. I'm trying to say that. I'm sorry if I can't say certain things right, but yeah, Samsung was a really, really awesome guy. Not saying he was like I looked up to him more than Christ. I'm not, but what I'm inspired about the story is even though he sinned, even though he lost it, God gave him one more chance to basically repent it, and God was with him, and he gave Samson his super strength one last time, and then Samson did what he was supposed to do. Like, it inspired me because it gave me like the way to see God is every time we make a mistake, God's always going to be there for us, and things like that. Like it's truly an inspiring story, especially when I learned about him. And I'll probably put him in my top 5 favorite biblical Bible historical figures of all time. Like he's really up there. If y'all not familiar with Samson, I recommend to study up on his history because he's really cool.